I run a limited company. I post brand deals, negotiate rates, review contracts, all while delivering content on time. I film, edit, and upload a new YouTube video every single week without fail, unless life be laughing, because you know how it be sometimes. Life be laughing. I post on Instagram multiple times a week. I run a newsletter and I build digital products and I take coaching clients. And I do all of this pretty much alone. No editor, no social media manager, no content team, just me and my camera and a system that I've spent the last year building from scratch pretty much. Although I've just started working with a talent manager, but we'll cover that later. In this video, I'm gonna show you exactly how it works, every part of it, because if you're building a creative business and it feels like chaos, I promise you, it's not a talent problem, it's a systems problem. And systems, they can be fixed. So, let's get into it.
I need to know everything, who and the what and the where, I need everything. Trust me, I hear what you say.
A quick note before we dive in. This is not a I've got it all figured out video, because I'm still building. The monthly revenue goal I want to achieve by the end of this year is still a way off. But what I do have is a system that works well enough that I can run a real business alone without burning out every other week. Now, I've been doing this full time for almost a year now, which is crazy because when I got let go from my tech job, I honestly did not know where to start when it came to building a creative business. But I think the system, even at this stage, is worth showing people because the version of this I needed when I started didn't exist for me. My name is Denz. I make videos about filming yourself and building a creative business. And today I'm pulling back the curtain on the full operation. Content, brand deals, finances, audiences, every system, every tool, every decision. This one's gonna be detailed. So strap in and let's go. Here's what most people do when they start creating, okay? They focus entirely on the content. The filming, the editing, the posting, because that's the job, right? And for a while, that is enough. When you're starting out, consistency is the only thing that matters. And there's not much business complexity to manage yet. But then something shifts. You start getting brand deal inquiries and you don't know how to respond. Or you land a deal and you invoice them wrong or too late, or you've had 3 good revenue months and you genuinely couldn't tell someone how much you actually earn because all the payments are spread across 4 different platforms. It's mad. Or, and this is the one that catches almost everyone out, you get busy. A brand deal piles on top of filming week, on top of a newsletter deadline, and suddenly you're posting inconsistently, replying to emails late, and the whole thing starts to feel like it's falling apart. That's not a content problem, that's a systems problem. Like I said, the creators I've watched scale past the chaos aren't more talented than everybody else. They just stopped treating the business side as an afterthought and started treating it the same level of intention that they bring to their content. This video is about that shift. I'm gonna walk you through 4 parts of my operation: content planning, brand deals, revenue tracking, business and finances, and audience building. And I'll tell you exactly how I manage each one, not theoretically, but practically, with the actual tools and habits that I use every single week. And let's get into part 1, content planning. Now, this is the foundation that everything else sits upon. If the content isn't consistent, the channel ain't gonna grow. And if the channel don't grow, the brand deals don't come. And if the brand deals don't come, the revenue stalls. It all starts here. I upload every week on YouTube, and that is a non-negotiable. It hasn't changed in months, and it won't. But when I was sick, we ain't gonna talk about that. The algorithm rewards consistency, and so does your audience. People start to expect you, and expectation is a form of loyalty. But posting every week doesn't mean filming every week. Now, that's the mistake. See, I batch every other Tuesday. I film 2 YouTube videos in one session. That gives me a 1-week buffer time at all times, which means that if life gets chaotic, if a brand deal runs over, if I'm just having a rough week, or if I'm sick, the channel can keep going. I'm never filming today and posting tomorrow. There's always content in the bank. The content calendar is planned at least 2 to 4 weeks ahead. I know what I'm making, when I'm filming it, and when it goes live, and what the call to action is for each and every video before I've written a single word of the script. And the tool that holds it all together is Notion. I talk about Notion a lot. I use it as my content operating system. Scripts, planning, brand deal tracking, revenue notes, all of it lives in one place. And I actually built a template around that system I use called the Creators Command Center, and it's in the description if you want to take a look. But the tool is less important than the habit. Whatever you use, the rule is one place, everything in it checked every single week. The other thing I protect fiercely is my themed day structure. Now, Monday is launch day. The video goes live and the first 2 hours of engagement are critical, so I try and make sure that I'm present for them. Tuesday is filming, Wednesday editing, Thursday is brand work and business, Friday is strategy, analytics, reviewing, and next week's planning. 4 o'clock, I'm done. The structure sounds rigid, but it's actually what gives me freedom, because when everything has a day, nothing kind of bleeds into everything else. Content doesn't eat into business time, brand work doesn't eat into filming, and my weekends stay protected for the most part. Unless I mess everything up and then I have to film on the weekend. Yeah, it happens. Part 2, brand deals and revenue tracking. Right, so this is where the real money is at my stage of the business. YouTube AdSense is growing. I did a full video on my first month of monetization earnings. If you want the details, I'll link it. But brand deals are primarily where my income is right now. And managing them properly is genuinely a skill that takes time to develop. Now here's how my pipeline works. Since March 2026, which is last month, I've been working with a talent agency called Stride Social. Now, they handle the outreach, negotiation, contract side of things. And that relationship has really freed up a significant amount of my week, because before the agency, I was spending time that I just didn't have chasing deals that often led to nowhere. Now that time goes into content and the deals come to me. But even with an agency, the execution is entirely mine. I film it, I edit it, I deliver it, I make sure it meets the brief, and I track every single deal myself, regardless of what the agency has on their end. My brand deal tracker covers the brand names, the deliverables, the agreed rates, the payment terms, the invoice date, the expected payment date, and the actual payment date. They be different sometimes. I ain't gonna lie to you, they be different. The last column is the most important one, because net 30 and net 45 payment terms are standard in this industry, which means that there's always a gap between delivering the work and receiving the money. Now that gap is what kills creator cash flow if you're not managing it actively. I have a calendar reminder set for every expected payment date. If it doesn't land, I follow up on the same day. Not aggressively, just professionally, okay? But promptly, yeah? Because brands and their finance teams have a lot of invoices to process, and the ones that chase politely and consistently get paid faster than the ones that just kind of sit around and hope. Well, it's been 5 days now. Anytime. Now, let's talk about rates. I have a clear floor for every type of deliverable, and I walk away from anything that comes below it. That's a principle that I've held or tried to uphold from the start, and it's protected the value of what I offer. The moment you start accepting below rate work because you need the money, you set a ceiling for what you're worth to that brand, and it's very hard to come back from. No matter how much they tell you, oh, in the next one, we'll pay you more. They be lying. All right, part 3, we're flying through this. If you're still locked in, you're a real one. The business and finance side, okay? Now, this is the section that most content creator channels skip entirely. And I understand why. It's not exciting as a camera setup or a brand deal story. But if you're serious about building a sustainable creator business, ignoring this side is like building a house without the foundations. I operate as a limited company, Creative Clips Media. I set that up before I went full time, and it was the right decision. It separates my personal finances from the business. It has tax advantages at certain income levels, and it makes you look way more professional to brands when you're invoicing. You're not just like a hobbyist sending a personal bank transfer request. You're a business with a company registration number. The way I pay myself is through a combination of salary and dividends. The salary is kept relatively low enough to meet, like national insurance thresholds and all of that stuff. And then the profit above that is taken as dividends, which are taxed at a lower rate. Now, this is a standard approach in the UK as a limited company director, and the specifics will vary based on your situation, your country, your region, etc. So talk to an accountant before you do anything, but the principle is worth understanding. Now, knowing your numbers is a non-negotiable, yeah? I know what comes in this month, what's pending, what's projected for next month, and what my running total looks like against my annual goal. Not because I'm obsessed with money, but because you cannot make business decisions without good information, okay? I review the finances every Friday as part of my strategy day, and it takes about 20 minutes, sometimes more, often more. But those 20 minutes mean that I'm never surprised by what's in the account. I'm always making decisions based on reality rather than assumptions, because we don't like to be assuming things around here. We have arrived to part 4, and this is all about audience and email. And this one, I want to spend a proper amount of time on because it's the part most creators, including me, for a long time, I treated it as an afterthought. Think about where your audience lives right now. Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, maybe LinkedIn. You spent months, maybe years building that following, and it feels like yours because you built it, right? But here's the reality, it ain't yours, okay? It's not really. Every follower you have on every platform, the platform owns that relationship. Because if Instagram decides to change the algorithm tomorrow and your reach drops by 60%, sure, there's nothing you can do about it. If your account gets restricted, if a platform loses cultural relevance, if it just decides your content should be shown to fewer people, you have no recourse to that. You're renting that audience, and renting means the landlord can change the terms at any time, okay? The only audience you actually own is your email list. When someone gives you their email address, that's a direct relationship. No algorithm between you and them, no platform making decisions about whether they see and what you send. You write it, you send it, it lands. And the directness is worth more to a business, especially a one-person creator business, than any follower account on any platform. Now, actually managing that email list properly, segmenting it, setting up a welcome sequence so that new subscribers get a proper introduction to what I do rather than just being dropped into a list and immediately sold to, that's where systems matter. And that's where this video's sponsor comes in. Hey, our first sponsor, roll the tape. This video is sponsored by Brevo. Brevo is the platform I use to manage my newsletter and email marketing. It's an all-in-one tool, email campaigns, automation, contact management, and it's built in a way that actually makes sense for creators and small businesses who are running everything themselves. You're not paying for features that you don't need. The feature that sold me immediately was the email builder. It's fully just boop, drag, boop, and drop. You're literally picking up content blocks, dropping them where you want them, and your newsletter takes shape in real time on the screen. Now, for someone like me who comes from a visual background, being able to see exactly how the email looks as I build it, rather than like writing code or guessing from a text editor, it makes the whole process significantly faster. Now, if you're at a stage where you're ready to stop relying entirely on social media and start building something you actually own, Brevo is where I'd start. Now, there's a free plan so you can get set up with zero risk. And I've also got a discount code for you so you can save 50% off on your first 3 months. I always got your back. I always got your back. Now, the link is in the description. Now let's get back to the video. And to be clear, the email list doesn't replace social media. It works alongside it. Social is where new people find you. Email is where the relationship deepens. And the creators who are building something that lasts are doing both, not one or the other. Now, if you haven't started your email list yet, start today. Even if it's 10 subscribers, the best time to build it was when you started, and the second best time is now. So that's the full system. Content planning, brand deals, finances, audience, and email. 4 parts, 1 person. And I want to land one thing before I wrap this up, okay? The reason I run the business this way isn't because I'm naturally organized, because I ain't, I'm not. The reason is that I've seen what happens when you don't. I've lived some of that myself. I've been living that. The chaos, the inconsistency, the feeling that you're always reacting, always catching up, always one bad week away from the whole thing falling apart. Yeah, systems aren't the boring part of building a creative business. They're the part that makes everything else possible. They're what lets you post consistently while managing brand deals. They're what lets you take a Friday afternoon off without the business falling over. They're what lets you scale without burning out. You don't need a team to start off with. You need a system, and you can build it one piece at a time. If this video was helpful, drop a comment to tell me which part of running your creative business feels the most chaotic right now. I genuinely want to read every single one, and it helps me to make better content for you guys. The Creators Command Center, the Notion template that I use to run all the lists, is in the description, and it covers content planning, filming, editing checklists, scheduling, and now includes the scripting framework that I broke down in one of my recent videos. It's everything in one place, okay? And if you're just starting out on the camera side of things and it still feels overwhelming, I've got a video specifically on how to film yourself using your iPhone, the settings, the gear, and the app, okay? And that one's right here. I can't believe we're getting so close to 10K. And if you're watching this up until this point, yo, honestly, thank you so much. It's been such a pleasure being able to share my journey with you and help some of you along the way. Now, if you enjoy tuning into my videos or have found value, I would love for you to smash that like, hype, and subscribe if you haven't already. And as always, I will see you. I said I will see you in the next one. Peace and love every single time. Denz.